Well, the Victim Support Fund has pledged to begin the process to resettle internally displaced persons from herdsmen attacks in Benue State. While the chairperson of the fund, Mrs. Toyosi Akirele Ogunsuji, at a meeting with Governor Samuel Ortom in Makadi, says Benue needs the support of well-meaning Nigerians to address the situation of the IDPs. Meanwhile, in Borno State, the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, in partnership with the State Emergency Management Agency, distributed items to the Gubio IDP camp in Maiduguri. Just few days ago, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar paid a visit to Benue State to commiserate with the state government over the plight of over 1 million internally displaced persons and made a donation of 50 million naira. A visit to the Mbawa IDP camp shows the living conditions of internally displaced persons, and for one of the IDPs, it's been tough, and they appeal to be resettled.
If the Benue State government can help us to address the insecurity in our communities and allow us go back home, I will truly appreciate it.
In what appears to be a rescue mission, two important interventions for IDPs came through as the Victim Support Fund, headed by General Theophilus Danjuma, announced plans to begin the IDP resettlement program, and a 20 million naira donation from the senior pastor of Omega Fire Ministry, much to the appreciation of Governor Samuel Ortom.
We commiserate with you on the plight of your people and the challenges you're currently facing with the displacement of citizens who have been in their communities, going about their regular businesses, conducting themselves as responsible citizens, only for them to be dislodged from their communities by bandits and armed headsmen.
When it comes to IDP, Benue has been one of those badly hit heavily. And you wonder how somebody can still be able to think of projects, think of doing anything when you have that backlog that every month you have to think of supporting them. So we are here to identify with you, to tell you we believe in your cause. Those that are with you are more than those against you.
Meanwhile, in Borno State, the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria distributed food and non-food items to Gubio IDP camp in Maiduguri. The Director General of the Borno State Emergency Management Agency called for more support for IDPs.
Up to now, we have huge number in the internally displaced camp, but very soon, according to the governor, will resettle them.
We have made up our mind in terms of funding to ensure that the little we can, in terms of little things that we have done today, should be on a continuous basis.
The main task of resettling IDPs or returning them back to their ancestral homes is one that needs to be achieved, but provision of adequate security must be addressed. For more on the plight of IDPs in Benue State, we have the Governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, who joins us right about now. You're welcome to News Across Nigeria, Governor Ortom.
Thank you very much. It is an unfortunate development that we found ourselves where we are today.
All right, so let's start by... Governor Tom, let's start by looking at the resettlement program. I mean, for IDPs in Benue State, well, over 1.5 million now. They've been appealing for help for quite a while now, a call you've also echoed. But why is it taking so long to achieve this?
Well, you see, the basic thing is as a result of insecurity that we have. Almost all the IDPs in Benue State, when you ask them, they want to go back to their ancestral home. Unfortunately, those who have attempted to go back to their homes, they were killed by these Fulani herdsmen. When I say this, I'm not talking about the conventional or normal Fulani men who have lived with us. I'm talking about those people who came from Mali, from Niger, from Senegal, from Chad, from other parts of the world, Mauritania and Libya, with sophisticated weapons to be killing. So I must make this clear for everyone who is listening to me. I'm not inducting the Fulanis who are in Nigeria. Some of them are my best friends that we have around. But the challenge is that these people have chosen to ensure that they displace our people, invade the land, and take over. And so those who attempted to go back to live their normal life in their homes have been killed. Those who even attempted to go back and farm, they've been killed. And of course, you know that out of the over 1.5 million IDPs that we have, 80% or even more are farmers. These are people who make Benue State what it is by being the food basket of the nation. So every one of them intends to go back, but the challenge is the security of their lives and the property that they will take back to their homes. So this has been the problem. So we have allowed these people to live in camps that are not even standard camps. These are primary schools. These are uncompleted buildings. These are places that are not fit. And I tell you the truth, no human being will want to stay there. For instance, as farmers, as people who are farmers, some have 4 wives, some have up to 20 children with their 4 wives. How do you live in a primary school? You sleep there and you maintain your privacy? What do you do? So it is a very big challenge to the entire state and the IDPs themselves. They've been pleading and begging. When the vice president came here, they pleaded, the children sang and said, look, we want to go back to our ancestral home. But the problem is the security. The security deployed to us have been doing their best, but truly they are grossly inadequate and they are not equipped properly. With the efforts of the state government, we're able to complement and all that, but they are grossly inadequate. They cannot be in all these places where this problem is.
All right, Governor.
I will join them.
Governor Ortom.
That, yes?
Yeah. Yes, I was going to ask, apart from seeking help from outside the state, I mean, you've talked about this, the issue of security and the challenges that go with it, but what plans does your administration have to settle or resettle some of the victims even as we speak, as of today?
Well, our plan is to help them go back to their homes. But you see, the issue of security remains squarely the responsibility of the federal government. I don't have a militia. I don't have the army, the police, the civil defense, or the DSS that are constitutional to depend on the federal government. The federal government should come and support us. Instead, here and there, it is not of any help to me, to the IDPs, and even the federal government. And so recently, we, on our own, tried to establish what you call community volunteer guards. And we think that this, when it comes in force, in the next 2 weeks or so, we'll be able to complement what the security men are doing so that at least we can have a backup with what they are doing for them to go back. But the bottom line is that every IDP wants to go back. And my intention is to work hard and ensure that our people go back to their villages. That is the bottom line. But the major challenge there is the issue of security. How can we cope? So I still fall back on the federal government.
Now, Governor Ortom, talk us through some of the interventions the state has already received in terms of relief support for the IDPs. If you saw the report, we did get some from 2 donor partners, but tell us more about that concerning interventions in relief support.
Well, hosting 1.5 IDPs, including the over 15,000 refugees that we have from the Cameroons, because we share borders with the Cameroon, it's not an easy task to cope with. Talking about food materials, talking about non-food materials, talking about other logistics, including security for the lives and property of the IDPs that are there. It is not an easy task. So whatever people bring is like a drop in the ocean. And whatever the state government tries to do, based on the resources we have, funding has been a challenge to Benue State. since several years before I even came in to be governor of Benue State, where the issue of salaries is a big challenge, and no help has come. Federal government, yes, federal government did, but they went an extra mile to help other states. But for me here, they have refused to help me. So it has become a very big challenge to me to cope with this. I appreciate donors, international and local partners, also spirited individuals who have always come to our help to provide health services, food and non-food materials like what we have just witnessed recently by the man of God, Apostle Suleiman, and the visit of the Victim Support Fund, which we hope will yield result, because they were there. What I got from my representative, the leader of the delegation support fund wept profusely when he saw a lady delivered in this camp. So it is a big challenge, but we are really overwhelmed with the situation on ground. And that is why I will continue to call for help. But the lasting solution to this challenge is for our people to go back. And that is why I'm calling on adequate security measures to be taken so that our people can go back. Right now, as I talk to you, most of our places are still being occupied by these herdsmen. They have decided that they will take over the land. So whatever you do, they don't care about this. They are occupying the lands of these people. Our children are not going to school. Our people cannot have access to land. And I tell you, as it is now, there is already threat of food security, as I talk to you now. There is famine in the land. In those days, I could receive foodstuff from my village. Now it is me and several other people, civil servants, and all those people living in urban areas that they are required to take food to their villages. So it is a big challenge. But I think the way to go is to provide adequate security so that our people can go back and live their normal life.
All right, Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State, we thank you so much for your thoughts here on News Across Nigeria. We appreciate your thoughts again.
Thank you very much.